It's the Wendy Williams Show. Now, here's Wendy.
Hi. Happy weekend. We made it. Thanks for watching. Say hello to my co-host and the studio audience. Good. Okay, let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. When I came out and I went like this, my bracelet was caught on the bottom of my dress. I almost gave you more of a surprise than you would have thought of. Surprise, surprise. So, so I wake up this morning and immediately I'm thinking about like women and the whole condom thing we've been talking about. And we're the only ones who can take charge of our bodies. At the end of the day, a guy can bring a condom, but a guy also, if he doesn't have a condom, you always have a condom. And furthermore, condoms, at the very least, condoms are preventative to having babies. You can get STDs all kind of different ways, but do you really want to have his baby? And these girls, and so I'm thinking about Cardi B. And I'll preface this by saying, I love Cardi B. I love, her whole rise and personality and the whole bit. She's been here on the show before. But she's only 25. The other day, Norman told me she was 27, but no, she's 25.
How dare you? How dare you?
No, but she's 25 years old, this Cardi B, right? She comes from the ashes and rises to international fame. And now here she is allegedly pregnant, which I hope she's not. Honestly, I hope she's not. Here she is pregnant at 25 with this guy Offset's baby. Well, Offset is her boyfriend, but the biggest part of the story, which maybe a lot of people don't understand, he's got 3 other kids by three other women. So this would then allegedly be baby number 4. Okay, and And Offset is off doing his thing. If she's 25, he's got to be somewhere around that age too. It's too many kids, too many babies' mothers. If I was Cardi B, first of all, any girl at 25, you don't need complications of a baby's mother. Number one. Like, even if you're dating a guy, and it's different in the rock star world. I can dig it. Cardi B, you want to have fun, you want to date Offset. Offset's got 3 kids, but you use your protection. You don't get pregnant by this dude. It's like rock and roll stories, like people messing around with DMX once he gets out of jail. There will always be women who want to mess around with him, but you just make sure to understand that he is very fertile. And along with owing $2-point-something million to the government, he also is $10 million in debt. Yeah, so he owes this down here, and then that $2-something million, and with the 15 kids and 9 babies' moms. That's all I'm saying about that Cardi B thing. And it was disturbing to me. So here she is at a new photo shoot for her new album, or they were doing a video. So this is not doctored or anything. And there she is with the poof. Is she pregnant or is she not pregnant? Are they trying to throw us off? Why, because she's yawning? Remember how tired you were when you were pregnant? That was some good sleep. Well, if she's pregnant and she's happy, then good for her. I'm not happy at a 25-year-old woman being pregnant, even owning the world right now like she is. Not happy that he has 3 babies' mothers. That's 3 different personalities that Cardi B is gonna have to deal with. 3 different jealous women all up in Cardi B's pocket. And Offset has money too, I guess, but Cardi B's got more. He's the Beyonce of the Migos. He does very well, but Cardi B is a solo act. And when you're a solo act, you keep all the money for yourself. Does that make sense? That's all. 25. So, Bill Cosby's retrial starts on Monday in Philadelphia. But this time, there will be a celebrity testifying. If you haven't heard, it's Janice Dickinson. Janice Dickinson was a huge model back in the 80s. She fashions herself as, this is a 60-something-year-old woman. She looks so youthful in the face until you get down to the... Now, the neck always tells the story. That's why a lot of older women, you know, they wear scarves and things like that. You can't really do much about the neck. You know, and that's a fact, right? Look, even like when I'm in the bed, you know when you're in the bed and you got the pillows propped up, but you're looking down at your phone, they tell you, don't stick it like that. You're better off looking up at your phone. But then that's not comfortable. So I look down at my phone and I'm looking over my readers and I'm watching TV and I'm looking down at my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna catch the neck. So no, don't lie. I have the moisturizer right there, my neck moisturizer, which is real moisturizing. And I pull my hair all the way back so it doesn't get on my hair or my pillows. And I keep it right here until I get off my device. And then I wipe it off. But yep, the neck tells the truth. They can do something about the hands these days. There's some sort of plumper that they can put in the hands to plump them up. Or you could just wear gloves. But the neck never lied. Anyway, so Janice and I go way back. Hey, Janice, she's married now to a very sane man. There he is. He's very sane. You know, she's been through some cuckoo times. It's a wonder she's lived to tell her own story. Janice and 4 other accusers are now allowed to testify against Bill Cosby. I don't know who the other 4 women are, but of all the women, I mean, there are over 60 women who've accused Bill Cosby of lecherous behavior. Why would they choose Janice Dickinson? And I'm thinking, because the courts have turned into the groupie room now. We were talking about that. And they want some star power in there. So maybe the judge is a fan of 80s models when modeling was really doing the business. No offense to today's models, but back in the day, I miss the Linda Evangelistas and those girls, and I'd like to see them pop up. Anyway. Janice, this is 1982, all right, in Lake Tahoe. Apparently, Bill Cosby lured her by saying, you know, let's have dinner. We can discuss future modeling, you know, things that you can do and other projects. Well, in 1982, Janice Dickinson was ruling the world with a clogged up nose. Janice has gone, look. Janice has gone through her own story. You know, it is no secret that back in the 80s, people were living that other life. So, but what she insinuates is that he gave her, she had cramps, really bad cramps. And so he gave her a pill for her cramps. Well, in 2014, she told her story on Entertainment Tonight, and I'll give you my opinion because I gave it to you already. We already showed this on our show, but we're gonna show it again. Go ahead.
He had given me wine and a pill. The next morning, I woke up and I wasn't wearing my pajamas. And I remember before I passed out that I had been sexually assaulted by this man. The last thing I remember was Bill Cosby in a patchwork robe, dropping his robe and getting on top of me.
I believe every word she says. I do. I'll tell you why. Because he likes those thigh gappers, allegedly. What do they call them? The Quaaludes.
Quaaludes.
And a lot of the guys back then just thought that that was what you were doing. And a lot of the women back then were in very precarious situations and then being taken advantage of, not because they wanted to, but because, you know, maybe her head was foggy prior to seeing Bill Cosby, and wine with dinner, and next thing you know, and they're at his home in Lake Tahoe. I want her to testify, but Janice, we don't need kooky Janice doing a full split and the most. I want you to wear a conservative suit. Don't show your arms. Like, wear a jacket, no cleavage, no push-up bra, no red lipstick. Be really smart talking and bring your husband with you and point him out so that they can see that your husband is not some tattooed rapper or something like that. Yeah, yes. Now he, as a matter of fact, tell him to wear that to court. So the trial starts on Monday, and all he needs is one of the jurors to not believe these women, and he will get off. I still don't believe at 80 years old he needs to do jail time, but something does need to. It's old, you guys. That's old to be in jail. But something does need to be done. He needs to be taught a lesson. Oh. Janice, please don't go in there like the Janice we've known you to be. Please go in there correct. All right, the trial starts on Monday, and we'll be following it. So, Travis Scott is being sued for bailing out on a party. Well, I agree with the party promoter, and here's why. Travis Scott was scheduled to perform, this is Super Bowl weekend in Minnesota. In Minnesota, a Super Bowl weekend. And allegedly, he canceled his appearance hours before and didn't give a reason to the promoter. Now, mind you, this Super Bowl weekend, it was the night before Super Bowl. So, you know, I don't know what goes on in Minnesota. Hi, you all. But the best I can tell, only based on, like, we're here in New York where excitement is happening all the time. Mm-hmm. Is that you coughing?
No.
Oh. Is that one of our guests? Does somebody need a hole?
I think so.
There you go. Just saying. Didn't mean to throw it, sorry. They don't give the one on the floor. They actually go and get another one. Oh, God. There go Wendy throwing stuff at her guest. Anyway, it turns out he didn't show up at this appearance. I don't know what goes on in Minnesota, but you know, we here in New York, it's exciting all the time. So I'm thinking Super Bowl is probably one of the biggest things to happen to Minnesota in a long time in terms of revenue for the restaurants, in terms of parties and promoters and venues and people and stuff. So it turns out the reason that he didn't show up without telling the promoter is that his daughter Stormy was born 2 days earlier. Excuse me, congratulations. This is not your first baby. Business is business. Let's keep it moving. Excuse me. This is just coming from a business perspective, that's all. Travis allegedly signed a contract. He was promised $200,000 for this appearance, plus he demanded a private plane. So the poor promoter, so they hired a private plane. They probably, you know, he probably bought a bunch of his people, you know, or intended on flying a bunch of his people there. A $200,000 payday for Travis Scott. The promoter gave him a $150,000 advance on the $200,000. So, and you might say, well, why did the promoter give so much? Well, because it's Travis Scott. He's a pretty big deal. He would attract a lot of people to the company. And when you want a big act, sometimes they're the boss of you more so than you being the boss of them. It's like, well, if you want me there, then I need all my money. Or if I need a private plane, or I need this, or I need that. And if you're going to agree to that as a promoter, then good for you. But so now the company, the promoter, wants their money back, plus profits that they lost. Well, I don't know about the profit part because you can't prove, although, yeah, you can. I mean, you know, here's the thing. You forgot the private plane. I would need the money back for the private plane. I would need the $150,000 back that you gave him. Apparently, he doesn't need the money since he got, what's her name? Kylie. A beautiful, over $1 million, a $1.4 million Ferrari as a push present. Now, whether he bought it, leasing it, I have no idea. But Travis Scott, you know, he's a big deal right now. So, you know, $150,000 shouldn't be much. Just give them back. He's not going to give back money. And this poor promoter, you see, after people leave Minnesota and after the Super Bowl leaves Minnesota, whatever city this was being played in, it just becomes Minnesota again. No offense, kind people, but what I'm saying is this poor promoter, so, you know, Don L Promotions promotes Travis Scott. Now Don L has egg on his face, so anything that he does in this poor town, wherever, I don't mean poor monetarily, I mean poor like, wow. The excitement was there, and so now this guy is left with egg on his face as being a less than credible promoter. This guy is out $150,000 for an appearance that never happened. He looks less than credible to everybody around town. Like, I'm not going to a Don L party. He couldn't get Travis Scott. And what about the people that might have been rioting outside? Because you know how people get. And Travis Scott is very popular. He could have had that club lit. and outside popping, you know, all in the streets and stuff. Travis, come on. In the name of you have a new baby, give the promoter back the $150,000 and throw in the private plane request. In the meantime, the other night on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle found out when Lisa Vanderpump speaks that you should really listen to every word she says. Well, take a look, and I've got an opinion.
And you know, Nanny K was staying with me then.
Who's Nanny K?
Nanny K, my grandmother. Her grandmother.
She went through I know, I don't think I...
Yeah.
No, I know, but for a second I was thinking it was a character from a movie.
No, I told you about her.
No, I know, but I don't remember if I meant Nanny K. Okay. And for a second I got confused about who Nanny K was.
Well, you're not mad because she didn't know Nanny K. No, it's fine, it's fine.
Well, here's the thing. I actually do listen when people talk to me, so I actually do know who Nanny K is, and I do remember her telling me about her first restaurants. See? There. Real friendship.
I don't believe any of it. And what the shade? That word shade, I'm so tired of it. It gets thrown around for no reason. That wasn't shade, that's real. Grown people have grown lives. I don't remember Nanny K. Why are you referring to her as Nanny K? Why can't you say grandmother? Here's the thing. Like when my parents come to the show, I never say, you guys, mommy and daddy are coming on Monday. Don't forget to set everything up nice. Mommy and daddy. I say my mother and father. People don't want to hear those endearing terms like that. Or maybe you do. I don't have time for it. Don't have time. And furthermore, Kyle's got Fabrizio and daughters, and one of them's modeling, and she's got her own life. Lisa Vanderpump, you are very self-absorbed. We are not minor characters in the movie of your life. We've got our own lives. And so if she forgot who Nanny K was, it's because you refer to her as Nanny K. Maybe if you said my grandmother, and even then, sometimes we forget stories that people tell about people in their lives. I do it all the time. But I don't mind backtracking. Like if I'm on the phone with you, I'll be like, boom. Okay, do you remember the story I was telling you about my grandmother? I told you like 3 months ago, she's got this going on and that going on in the third. All right, well, here's what's going on now. And if you don't remember, I'm not mad because I know you got your own husband, your own kids, and your own life. Are you serious? Serious? It's like me going home and calling people I know and saying, did you watch today's show? Really? Like people I know don't have lives. Like, Wendy, it's not all about your show, you know? Lisa Vanderpump, it's not all about you. And the young lady who responded, she was just here with the Versace. Erica Kane. Erica Kane, good for you for remembering Nanny K and all the stories and things like that. But perhaps you need more to do in your life because God only knows. I wouldn't have remembered the story either, Vanderpump, and you would have had to repeat. Kyle, don't feel bad about that. All right, let's move along. So, Heidi Klum is 44, you know, really pretty. And she's got a new boyfriend. A lot of people have a problem with it because he's only 28 years old. Yep. His name is Tom, and he's a guitarist from this German band called Tokyo Hotel. Do you know the band? Wait, clap if you know. You know the band? Oh, well, okay. All right, but he doesn't have as much money as Klum, though, yet, does he? Okay, good, you know the band. Well, here's the thing, all right? Her previous boyfriend, who did her wrong, Vito Snibel, remember he was an art heir, and went on to cheat on her or something like that. They broke up and now he went on with his life and now she's going on with her life. But this Vito was only 28 as well. So some people might say, well, why doesn't she date people more appropriate to her age? She's 44 years old. But you know, each individual story has its individual circumstances. For instance, Heidi Klum is 44. She's already been married twice. She's got one child from her first husband. When she married Seal, they went on to have 3 more. Seal ended up adopting the first child from her first husband. It would seem to me like in a weird kind of way, Seal would be like the considered love of her life, that I got married and I'm finished with it kind of thing. Heidi is finished having kids. No doubt at 44, she's got a beautiful family and a whole bunch of businesses on the side. So for a Heidi Klum, a woman in that position, to date a 28-year-old, I have no problem with it because she's smart enough to understand this is a drive-by, this is a run-through. This is a, look, I'm not having his kids, I don't want any more kids. I'm not trying to fall in love, he's a good time. I've got enough money that my kids can be on that wing of the house, never even have to meet this guy, even if they meet him. You understand what I mean? Like, each circumstance has a different circumstance. I wouldn't advise somebody like Jennifer Aniston, who's 49, to date a 28-year-old, you know? Because Aniston... Never mind, I'm being cut off by the sign. Anyway, we've got more great show for you, everybody. Up next from This Is Us, the star. Chrissy Metz is here, so grab a snack. Hey.